Right, just another quick update. You can see that I've took all the newspaper and tape off now that I was using to mask off the seam issues. You can see on the right hand side here, seam issues gone. I couldn't do anything about that one because of all the masking I had to do to stop the warpness cells getting any primer, but if I put that on there, you can see that'll hide that. I'll probably still drop a bit of paint on there, but nothing too major. Also with the phaser banks there, I've filled in and primed that. Round the front, again all the seam issues gone. I've got a bit of tape residue, but that's never mind. On the left hand side of the runabout again, not bad at all. You got the panel lines though on the bottom here, they're a bit more forward than the ones on the top, but there's nothing I can do about that. And finally the rear, where you can see my little figures through the window as well. The seam issues there, it's way better than it was. It's not 100%, but it's way better. So I'm really well chuffed with how these seams have turned out. This is now ready for paint. Right, 24 hours later, my base is all glued. Basically what I did is I just got my shelf, emptied my shelf. You can see I put my lifeboat over there on my desk. And I just got the base, the wooden base, and just put it on top of the shelf, got all the PVA, got in there with my fingers and moved it all around to the edges. I then got my G-clamps as well as my pressure clamps and just went all the way around with the board on top of there like that, and then just clamped using my shelf as a brace to keep it nice and straight and sturdy, and then like I said, just left it 24 hours to dry. I put the books, some of my like books on top in the middle there, and as you can see it's dried an absolute treat. The only problem was, putting that down there, this piece has moved forward slightly and you can see that it's hanging over the side of the base. So I had a bit of a gap here. So what I did is I got a bit of my offcut and just stuffed it in the middle, as you can see, because I'm not going to fill all that in with filler. So I just stuffed that in there, and like I said, it's matched a bit, so that's not too bad. Now, what I'm going to do now is I've bought some diamond plate sheeting from a company called Green Stuff World on eBay. I don't know how well the camera's picking this diamond plate up, but this is 124 to 148 scale and it cost me $3.95 a sheet. So as you can see, I'm going to pop one there like that. It's from, like I said, from Green Stuff World, as you can see. And then I'm going to pop the other one in there like that. Obviously I'm going to cut that down, and then I'm going to have a gap in the middle, but with these offcuts I can fill that gap in. And then probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole through the paper and then feed my wire down that crack there, and then that will be soldered to the underneath of the runabout. But this this diamond plate paper is really nice. It's going to add a nice makeshift feel to it. Right, the base is all done now. I've put my diamond pattern sheet on. As you know, these were two A4 sheets, so what I did is I measured 10 inches long, and then I had these 2 inches left over on each side. So I glued this one down first, got a clamp in each corner, and then I put a stack of books in the middle. I let that dry for 24 hours. Then I did this side again with the clamps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the pile of books in the middle, left that 24 hours to dry. And then I had the middle section here, and basically I just dug a little channel out for the wire. And as you can see, my battery clip is in there. I've dug all that out with my knife, and then basically I just cut a piece off my offcut and just lined it down there, dug a little hole out, this little square hole for the wire. I put that down, glued that down with a PVA, and then another offcut for this bottom section here, and then again PVA, and then I just had to put some of my glass Humbrol bottles on the top just to hold them down because I couldn't clamp those because they were right in the middle. But this is all now ready for primer. Right, my base is all done now. It's all nice and sprayed. I use my Halfords primer, the primer that I always use. Went all over and on the cardboard pieces. It went down really well on the cardboard, didn't eat it or anything because it's acrylic based anyway. I left that for about an hour and a half, 2 hours to dry outside. And then I went with this spray paint, car spray paint, matte silver. I picked this up from my local Poundland in Bilston for £1. The trouble is this stuff absolutely stinks. So if you're going to do this, spray it outside. Because even though I left it 2 hours to dry outside, I brought it back in, and then overnight when I woke up in the morning, my computer room stunk. So I had to leave the windows open while I was at work, and then eventually after about 2 days the smell of that went. So I used that all over, and on the cardboard. It's not gone down too bad on the cardboard, hasn't eaten it away or anything. What I've just done is I've just gone with my rust wash from Humbrol and just gone all the way around, as you can see. Just give it a good once over. Some of the silver's still showing through, but not looking too bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm probably just going to rust this up and weather it, but not looking too bad. Right, finale time on the Runabout. Detailing's been done, last bit of painting's been done, decals are done, the base is done, and I'm really well chuffed with the results. So here's the final reveal. Right, there it is in all its glory. When I left you, I just sprayed the base with that silver car paint that I picked up from the pound shop. So what I did is I really wanted to weather the base, because we've got some of this proper really big diamond sheet plating at work, and it's been run over with the forklifts, it's been run over with the delivery trucks, and I took my inspiration from that. So basically what I did, got the Humbrol rust wash, and gave that a bloody good once over, wiped off the excess, let that dry. I then got my Citadel Earthshade watch, which I've had for a few years. So I'll give that a bloody good once over, let that dry. And then if you remember from my Warthog build, remember those makeup eyeliner pencils? So I've got a black, I've got a grey, I've got dark browns, light browns, gold. So I just went with the pencils and just marked them over, and then smudged it with my fingers all the way over. And as you can see, it's gives it that well weathered, battered look, and that's why I was really glad I saw those plates at work. So that's the base done. Now with the paint and the actual Runabout, as you can see, again I went with the Humbrol 129 grey for the main base hull coat, and I've done my various greys. I've got an olive green there. For the phaser banks I've gone with a leaf green, an orangey brown and a blue. Gunmetal there. I've gone a very dark grey enamel for the spine, whatever they are. I think it's a join spine. I've got the light grey for the arms there, for the arms that covered the venting. I've got the grey there, dark grey. I've got my ochre for those squares. I've got the gunmetal, as you can see, for that bit of wiring. Bit of gunmetal there as well, and a bit of gunmetal for those little nugget, well, square nugget things there, as I'm going to call it. I've got the dark grey for that vent thing there. I've got some light greys you can see on the top of the sensor bridge, light and dark greys underneath the sensor bridge. The sensor bridge itself on the top, I've got the light grey there. And then I picked out these bits here on the top there. So I've got my artist paint for that. I've got my gold, my metallic gold there. And I've got my metallic bronze. So you got that bit there in the metallic bronze and the gold. I've got the gunmetal and the light greys there, and the gunmetal there. Going round to the front, you got the ochre for the front window, and you got that section there. Got the dark grey and the white. Moving round to the rear section, I've got the ochre there, and then once I'd done all that and the various greys overboard, then I just went back to the 129 and just touched up round the edges just to neaten it up a bit. Then you've got your decals. You've got your line decals on the top, because you know I've already done the ones on the bottom. I had to peel these off the backing paper because, as you know, the backing paper, you know, it's a 90s kit. So that one went down. There's a line one underneath here as well. I probably should have showed you that before I glued the sensor bridge on, but I never thought about it at the time, because you're not going to see it underneath there, as you can see. Then once I'd done this, I'd microset and microsol those. Once that was dry, then with my clear gloss and the line at the back there, sealed those, let them dry, and then I glued the sensor bridge on, as you can see. You've got the registry decals there, you've got that one there, you've got the one at the side and the one at that side as well. Again, microset, microsol gloss seal. And you've got this side with the line decals. These line decals did tear on me. You've also got to cut it there because that's one long decal, but if you don't cut it there, you're not going to get that line right up to there over the phasers. So cut it on the second line at the bottom there. That tore on me there and just before the Federation emblem, so I had to put all, you know, push them up and get them lined up. Microset, microsol seal with a gloss. Then I went with the Yangtze Kang lettering, because originally I was going to go with the Ganges, but I decided that the Yangtze Kang because it sounds better. So once that dried with the gloss, I then applied those and just nudged those up with my tweezers to get them right in the middle. Again, microset, microsol, and then sealed. Same on that side as well, as you can see. And that's pretty much it for the main runabout. Now I'm going to pause this video, wait for it to go dark, and then I can demonstrate the lighting. Right, I'm going to demonstrate the LEDs now, because you can see it's now dark outside. So if I just put this on there, doing this one-handed, get that in there, tuck that in there. That's why I've got that little hole for, as you can see. And as you can see, how it is all lit up. Not looking too bad. To be honest, I think what I probably should have done for the intakes is probably got a bit more Tamiya fine sandpaper and probably misted the one side up, and you know, have the one side orange, because you can see the LED in there and the inside. But what I like about this, it actually shines through the back really nice, as you can see there. Going round to the side windows, you can see right inside the cockpit just about. The only problem is with my camera phone, it doesn't do the inside justice. I mean, you can just about make out the figures there and probably the back door there, but if you were sitting where I'm sitting, the clarity is a hell of a lot better looking it through the naked eye. You'd be able to see right in. Probably just see the others just inside there. It is, you know, it is clear, as you can see, but again, the camera just ain't doing it justice. Right, you got the mansard there, as you can see, both sides. You can just about make out the LEDs for the warp nacelles. You know, nothing's come loose, which I'm really well chuffed, especially with all the painting and turning this up, sort of, you know, turning it to the side so I can get underneath there with my paint. Go through the side window there. I don't know where's that yellow jacket chap. There he is. You could probably just make out the yellow jacket there, as you can see. You can see the red jacket sitting down, the Captain Picard figure, and the guy that's just standing up there. So yeah, you can just barely make him out. And there's the yellow data figure pointing at the LCARs like he's doing a presentation. And then you've got the other warp nacelle there, and the mansard. Right, I'm going to switch the light off now, as you can see on my finger. Now the one thing I like about this, when it's dark, you've got the lovely light reflection of the warp nacelles and the mansards onto my base. As you can see, the lovely reflection as it comes through the clear part onto the base. Absolutely lovely. I don't know if it, I mean, to be, like I said, the camera phone don't do it justice. I just don't understand why. You got the, like I said, you can see a bit better into the intakes and the other warp nacelle. Like I said, although you can probably just make out the yellow jacket a bit better there. I mean, to be honest, from this side, you got the LEDs, you know, making that standing figure when I had Cisco. I mean, you can just barely make his red uniform out and the sitting down figure. So like I said, it's just a shame that the camera ain't picking it up better. I really wish it would do. I mean, to be honest, even if I had, you know, took these clear parts out and put that sheet in, the clear sheet like I did on the front there, I don't think it would make any difference with the camera, to be honest. But like I said, there it is, all lit up in the dark. Not too bad at all. Right, I'll just switch the light back on. You can have one more look at her. All lit up. Right, so what has been just over a 3-month journey with the Runabout, because, you know, I started this at the end of August and it's now the first week into December. I didn't really want to rush this, to be honest, because, you know, with all the LEDs I had to put in, which was 10, this would have only been the second kit that I've lighted since the lifeboat from a few years ago, and that was only 2 LEDs. I've had a few squeaky bum moments, you know, with the interior fit and the clear parts not going in on the front cockpit area, so again, watch out for those. To be honest, you probably would be better off using your own clear sheet plastic. I mean, on the rear section, I probably should have used the clear sheet plastic again. But again, thank you for following me for this 3-month journey. As usual, hopefully I haven't bored you too much. You've enjoyed watching these videos. I'll put some still shots at the end of this video, and I'll see you into the new year with my next build. So thank you very much for watching.